Tonight on Fake News, Melinda Gates is vaxxed, waxed, and ready for hot girl summer. For the rest of us, most of the news is still a bummer. And for all you forgetful folks out there, this Sunday is Mother's Day. I'm Kristen Scatton, and this is Fake News. Welcome to Fake News. Here are the breaking fake news stories. A NASA Mars helicopter picked up the sound of humming through the thin Martian air, but they still can't figure out what the song is. It kind of went like, you know how it goes, the choo-choo, 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 choo, that one. Facebook is upholding their ban on former President Donald Trump, which is kind of like getting the vaccine after you've traveled all over the world with COVID. Good for you, but look at all the damage you've already done. Bill and Melinda Gates announced that they are splitting up after 27 years of marriage. Sources say they thought it would be hard to reach an agreement, but luckily, Clippy was there to help draw up the divorce papers. Still comes in handy. New data released this week by the CDC showed that the U.S. birth rates have declined to their lowest levels in decades. Here to explain the recent drop is birth rate analyst Diego Fuxalot.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Hello, hi, welcome, Diego. Thank you so much for being here. So, this drop in the birth rates is somewhat alarming. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, I want to get into it. I want to explain what it means socially, economically, et cetera, et cetera. So, if you'd allow me, I'd have a little slideshow presentation for you.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, so if we take a look at the recent data, we see a 4% decrease in 2020. Even though many experts believe there would be an increase due to pandemic-induced horniness, but not me. I knew the culture was shifting from a fucking and sucking culture to solely sucking. So now, I know there's so many skeptics out there, but don't worry because my job is to show you the data, give you the proper analysis on it. So here we go.
That'd be great. I would love to hear more analysis of this.
Yeah. So right here, we see a scatter plot graph with the date of men and women who have decided to delay childbirth. Surveys concluded that many of these women are taking precautions such as birth control, but mostly they're skipping the fucking and really focusing on the much safer sucking. So now this is just one group of women we selected. And I want to show you right now. So we see the birth rate, right? Data. But if we zoom out, can we zoom out for a second?
Yes. Can we zoom out? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting graph. I don't think I've ever seen a data graph like that before.
Yeah, it really shows how we've really skipped from the fucking to a lot of the sucking, because data has shown that during times of economic crisis, birth rates lower due to uncertainty in jobs, but more importantly, due to sexual experimentation. A great example is the Great Depression, which is well known as the thirsty 30s, right after the Great Depression. So can we skip the graph? I did want to skip to the next yet, and then we'll skip one more. That was just me filling in the graph. And so this is the unemployment rate, but now we're going to overlay it.
Okay.
With the birth rate in the 1930s.
Oh, okay, great. So a historical comparison here.
Yes. Can we go to the next slide, please? So here it is. You see when the placement in jobs lowered, so did the birth rate, as you can see clearly on this data. Which was very.
Yes.
And once again, if we zoom out on this, can we just go to the next slide? Yes. You can tell when you can see right here specifically when after the Great Depression with job loss, not a lot of people had a lot to eat, so they had to eat elsewhere, which is what the data shows. And the same thing the same thing happened during the 2008 economic crash. That was around the time when there's not a lot of fucking and just a lot of trucking. And of
Sure,
course,
sure.
of course, the 1950s came back around in the 2010s with the return of the handies. And so still
right.
not a lot of fucking, which would show you right after the economic crash and the recession in 2008, the housing crisis, how that would come to lower the birth rates.
Exactly. Yes. No. That all makes perfect, crystal clear sense to me.
We can go to the next slide so I can just really drive my point home.
Yes. Yes. I see how the data just lends itself to not favorable conditions for conceiving children.
Yes, I highlighted all the data points. And let's go
Thank
to the
you.
next one. I think the next one is actually the 20. Oh yes, of course. This is 2013 showed that it was really the summer of '69. Returning back to the old times, to really getting the summer of 1969 with that economic crisis.
Now let me ask you a question. What was the birth rate in the summer of '69?
About 690,000, if I'm correct. If I'm remembering that correct. A day.
Wow. So in the summer of '69, we were actually getting more babies created and born than when people were actually just straight up 69ing. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Yeah, I think that bears out for sure.
Yeah, and if we go to the next one, we can see that 2018 was actually where ass eating is all the rage.
Yes,
and of course these are not good ways to give birth. And believe me, I've tried.
I understand that you take your work very seriously. So you've tried all of these different methods of conception multiple times, and they don't work.
Yeah, so as you can see, not a lot of fucking due to the cultural changes in economic and social structures. So when people ask me, when can we expect the birth rate to correct itself? Will it correct itself? What does the pull-out method really do? I show them data such as this from different years and say, well, what do you see?
I see that there's really only one way to get those birth rates up, and I believe, as you are a proponent of, it's fucking. People just gotta fuck.
And we're not doing it because we're too busy sucking.
Sucking. So what would your message be for individuals, Americans who are concerned and want to get these birth rates back up? What would your advice be?
Start raw dogging.
Yeah, that's always good advice. That's always very, very good advice.
But of course, take precautions with make sure you look at the economy, make sure you have the means to support children.
Yeah. So you heard it here first on fake news. Y'all better get to raw dogging.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Diego fucks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next up is our coronavirus update. As soon as I have my slides for this, or I could just go ahead and start telling the joke. Experts. Oh, great! There we go. Wonderful. Experts now believe that reaching herd immunity against COVID-19 is unlikely in the United States, and that's because someone heard that someone else heard that someone's shepherd heard that if you take a vaccine, you're a sheep. However, enough people will be vaccinated to make the virus more manageable. In a related story, the Venn diagram of people who won't get vaccinated for BS reasons and people who don't do any of the work on the group project but still get credit for it is a fucking circle. All the kids, all the good kids out there doing the work, showing up, going to the study sessions. We're carrying you. We know it. In national news, Krispy Kreme launched its newest promotion, the Graduation Dozen, giving a free box of donuts to all 2021 college graduates. Finally, your college degree is worth something again. In order to avoid media scrutiny after announcing her divorce on Monday, Melinda Gates rented a private island for the low, low price of $132,000 a night. She said she wanted to rediscover herself. And what she discovered is that she's fucking rich. Facebook's oversight board upheld the company's ban on former President Donald Trump on their platform. In other news, a new travel blogger named Tronald Dump just joined Instagram, and his posts are a riot. The new account has been getting a lot of attention. Fake News actually has some exclusive video from the new Tronald Dump account.
Are you looking for the most amazing places to go this summer? Or maybe you're like me and want to get out of the house because you hate your family. I don't know. I'm Tronald Dump and I have a brand new Facebook page. I mean, it's my only and first Facebook page ever that you should follow. It's a travel blog. You're seeing this targeted ad because you probably follow hashtag MAGA, hashtag America First, hashtag Know Me First, hashtag No Me First, hashtag I know you are, but what am I? I don't know. In this travel blog, bros, you'll come along with me as I explore some of the greatest locales this great nation has to offer. Could it be made greater? I don't know. Could it be made greater by me? I don't know. Join me as I visit one of the greatest golf resorts / places where treason was probably committed, Mar-a-Lago. This 18-hole golf course and luxury hotel is one of the classiest places in the world to catch COVID. I mean they. I definitely didn't mean to say we. I'm not a part of it. I'm not a part of it. You're a part of it. You're a part of it. I'm not a part of it. They don't require a mask at all, so feel free to come and spread any virus you want. I'm vaccinated, didn't tell anyone, by the way, so it doesn't matter. And if you're lucky, the owner, Donald Trump, don't know him, he seems pretty great, sexy, smart, kissable lips, huge penis, will make a speech at whatever event you're having. And everybody loves it, and it's definitely not sad or weird. In fact, it's one of the greatest honors you could possibly have. Everybody keeps saying, please, Mr. President, please continue. We love you. Your hair is totally real. Or maybe you're trying to get out of the hustle and the bustle of the city, bros. Try Wyoming. There is this great house where this woman, Liz Cheney, lives. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous property to leave burning bags of poop on. Or maybe you want to do some sightseeing. How about going to the U.S. Capitol? One of my favorite places at the Capitol, by the way, is Nancy Pelosi's office. It's got one of the best views and her desk is particularly great to pee on. What's that? You already went to the Capitol this year? Go again. They'll never expect it. So please hit follow on Tronald Dump's Facebook page and travel blog for the greatest recommendations to travel in all history. All right, Steven, how was that? I think I'm done. Steven, stop sucking on the virgin's blood. Steven, where are you? Steven? Melania! Melania! Melania!
Well, I don't know if I would take his travel advice, but that music sure is banging. Subway's new fresh melt sandwiches have raised concerns due to the triple layer of melted cheese that presents a safety hazard to employees removing them from toaster ovens. In a related story, Subway is debuting a new slogan to go along with their new sandwich: Diarrhea Fresh. Due to the pandemic, Uber and Lyft are facing a driver shortage causing longer wait times and higher fares. However, they have guaranteed customers that every ride will still include an uncomfortable silence with your driver and a copy of his mixtape. A shortage of wood is raising housing prices across the U.S. Meanwhile, a shortage of wood is also raising the settings on my vibrator. A California bar owner was charged with multiple felonies this week for allegedly selling fake COVID vaccination cards. Officials said they knew something was off when they saw both shots were of Jack Daniels and the card had a happy hour menu on the back. Now, shots of Jack Daniels might sound bad, but it's better than the alternative. Johnson & Jameson, Gold's Pfizer, Capitan Moderna's, and AstraZeneca. Those European bastards. A GOP lawmaker and substitute teacher was arrested this week for allegedly kicking a student in the groin and asking teens about their masturbation habits. Now, in his defense, the class he was teaching was how to defend yourself while masturbating. It's something we all need to know. In January, with the installation of the Biden administration, Jen Psaki became the new White House press secretary. But that's not all she does. Here now to share her favorite recipe with us is Jen Psaki. Jen, hi, how are you doing? Welcome. It's so nice of you to be here.
Wonderful, thank you. I appreciate the introduction. I maybe would have phrased it differently myself, but thank you.
Oh, well, sorry about that, but you're joining us here today on Fake News to share one of your favorite recipes with us. Is that correct?
Yes. I feel like a lot of people will have information on my favorite recipe. I personally don't have anything to give you today, but perhaps maybe the person next to you might know what the recipe would be.
No, there's no one next to me. You are the guest.
If you take an Uber home, maybe if you're driving the Uber, someone in the car might have that information for you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So cooking, I presume, is one of the things that you enjoy to do. Enjoy doing in your downtime.
Yes. I'm not saying you're confused. I'm saying a lot of people get confused. You seem confused. I enjoy cooking. But again, if you wanted information about what I cook, you might have to contact a chef, or maybe I could connect you with someone who works at a fine dining establishment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So some of the recipes that you make, you're saying, you like to copy recipes from dining establishments that you enjoy?
Mm-hmm. I would say that I'm looking at it through that prism. But if I were to provide you with any recipes today, it would have to be later. We might have to
circle. You're saying
we can square it. We can square that up later. We can square it up later.
Okay. What is it in particular that you enjoy about cooking? I mean, I know I personally, I find it very relaxing. What is it about cooking that you enjoy?
Yeah, that is a really good question for a really bad question. A question that a kind of offensive, dumb question, but really good. If I were to provide you details about what I were to nourish my body with, I might have to say perhaps connect you later at another date. We might have to triangulate. Back to it later. Triangulate it.
Okay. Well, since you don't really seem to be in the mood to talk about cooking today, even though that is why you're here and what we brought you on to talk about, what are some other things that Jen Psaki likes to do in her downtime?
Well, today, I can report that I did do my morning reading of the newspaper on the patio, but any other information I would have to confirm with the correct sources, and those would be the people in my life that I have relationships with. Maybe I can connect you with them later, or again, maybe the person next to you might know.
Right. Still nobody next to me. I am alone in this studio. So I'm not really sure. But okay. Well, is there anything else? I mean, is there any question that I didn't ask that maybe you would be willing to answer for us here today? Any information about your life you'd like to tell us?
Well, what I'm trying to help you understand is that I'm a more complex person than just a robot on the news.
Of course.
But if I were to give you any specific details, I would.
Okay. Okay, Jen, I understand. I understand that you have a very high pressure job, and you're under a lot of stress.
I would circle it up later.
Right. Okay.
Back to it.
Okay, Jen. I think we're gonna. You can circle it. I think we're going to let you get back to your circling and your cooking, or you're not cooking, or whatever it is that you're doing besides not really answering any of these questions. So thank you so much, Jen Psaki, for joining us on Fake News tonight.
That was a really good interview for such a terrible interview.
Yes, thank you. I feel similarly. All right. Vaccination status is becoming the most popular COVID-era compatibility test for dating apps. The second on the list, of course, is willingness to do anal. But joke check. Good. Glad we got that in there. A Missouri woman has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for smuggling a loaded gun into a county jail in her vagina. Lucky for her, they didn't care about the bazookas under her sweater. Okay. Boo joke. Yep. Okay. Good. This week, Vice President Kamala Harris has called for immediate relief for Mexico, Honduras, and Guatemala, which are collectively known as the Northern Triangle. In related news, Southern Triangle is what I call my bush. Okay. Pube joke. Check. In a speech, President Biden argued that the economy is improving despite the fact that unemployment numbers are up. In response, Jill Biden said, "I'm just excited he can still get something up." Okay, good. Penis joke. Good. I'm glad they added that joke. For a second, I had a vision of myself in a sterile room being asked to point out on the doll where the male comedians made me tell jokes about my body. It's probably still in my future anyhow. It has been reported that New York City is still using refrigerated trucks to store the bodies of coronavirus victims more than a year after they were first set up as temporary morgues. The worst part is the corpses are still being charged $4,000 per month rent. And now on to our legislation update. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed an election bill into law this week and only allowed Fox News in the room to cover it. Said DeSantis, "I like my media like I like my voting rights. Restricted." Oh, they hate democracy. Analysts say that the voter restriction laws being passed by Republican-run states like Florida and others could actually end up suppressing voter turnout for the GOP. However, conservatives are undeterred, saying, "What do you expect? We're the party of the Second Amendment, and that means we have the right to shoot ourselves in the foot whenever we want, God damn it." Speaking of shooting, South Carolina lawmakers have passed a bill to allow execution by firing squad. When asked for comment, police everywhere said, "Wait, you have to pass a law to do that?" Because cops fucking murder people, y'all. Idaho's governor signed into law a bill that aims to restrict systemic racism from being taught in schools and universities. Instead, they said racism should be taught the old-fashioned way, at home, in church, through traffic stops. On to world news. Austrian Prince Emmanuel of Liechtenstein is under police investigation after paying $8,500 to shoot one of Europe's largest bears. That's all? When I pay that much money for a bear, I expect him to at least, shoot himself. In New Zealand, a man has reportedly been spray painting penises on dangerous potholes to bring awareness to infrastructure issues. Meanwhile, I'm spray painting penises on buttholes to bring awareness to my infantile issues. I'm immature. In India, a bride called off her wedding after the groom refused to take a math test to prove his intelligence. Poor guy. If only he knew how to put 2 and 2 together, he could have carried the 1 and multiplied all night. Yeah, let's get to that fucking, like Diego Fuxalot said. In a trend that would be disturbing if everything wasn't a disturbing trend anymore, people have reportedly been eating rotten raw meat in order to get high. We asked our senior Getting Faded correspondent, Ezra Parter, to find out more. Ezra.
Hey, Christine. I'm so fucking high right now.
Okay. Really? So you ate. So you ate rotten raw meat. Do I understand that correctly?
Yeah, I bought a whole side of beef 6 months ago, and I just let it sit in the backyard because I thought it would get rotten, and then I could get high. I get high on it, and I tell you what, I'm so high. I'm sweating.
Yeah, well, probably also the vomiting has something to do with the sweating. How much of
what
this?
you're talking about vomiting.
Oh, okay. Maybe this is just what you act like when you're high. That's perfectly normal. Does this normally, when you get high and when you've gotten high off of other drugs and things, do you normally feel this way? Is this similar to other highs that you've had?
Yeah. I'm like, it was like, like when I'm high, I just expunge how high I am. It's like it's when I get high, man. Like the joy comes out of both ends.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's yeah, we clearly haven't done the same drugs, but so can you talk us through some of the other sensations? I mean, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah. Right now I'm seeing like my own reflection in the world, like right down there in the bowl. It's just looking back up at me but I look a little chunky. I look a little chunkier than I'm used to, Kristen, and I don't know what that means. What are the gods of the high visions trying to tell me?
No, I don't think they're trying to tell you. I don't think they're trying to tell you anything. I think what you're seeing is your reflection in the water in the toilet bowl that you are presently vomiting into.
Maybe, Kristen, but I don't think so. Because if you look at my face.
I am looking at your face.
You can see that everything's there still. It's not like I'm sick and like my brain doesn't work. It's like I'm just high as hell.
Yeah, I know. You look. I mean, your face is all still there. It's definitely all still there. But you don't. You definitely.
Look at the colors on my pillow. I'm tripping out. This pillow's usually brown, but look at it.
Are you sure? Because I see those colors too, and I did not take any kind of. I did not. Okay. Oh, okay. So Ezra, would you recommend this method of getting high to other people?
God. If you want to truly see yourself in a bathroom in a way you never have before, you gotta eat raw meat. Get yourself a side of beef, stick it in your backyard, and just wait 6 months. And then, Kristen, I gotta tell you, I kind of hate you guys for assigning me this assignment.
No, I'm pretty sure that you volunteered to do this.
Wow. Okay.
You know,
Yeah, no. I guess, yeah, my reality's fucked because I'm so high. I wouldn't remember what really happened.
no, we definitely all discouraged you from doing this, and you insisted.
I like being this high, Kristen. It's like you ever eat too many edibles and then throw up 2 gallons of popcorn.
No, that's
Well, I
never
did that
happened
in
to
high
me.
school, and that's true. And it was one of the worst experiences of my
It
life.
was
And this is like
it
that. This is that kind of high. It's too high.
yeah. Okay, so it's too so it's too do you think in the future if you were to do this again, maybe you would just eat a little less of the raw meat? Do you think that maybe you just ate too much of it and that's what got you so high?
That's the thing. This stuff's so potent. You take one
Hmm.
bite and you're high as fuck for hours. The whole rest of the side of beef is out there.
Okay, so there's still okay. All right. So I'm going to suggest that you take that side of raw beef that's still out there. Just get rid of it. Just throw it
Okay,
away.
I'll eat it tomorrow. I'll eat it tomorrow.
No, don't eat it at all. And also probably get yourself to a hospital.
I don't have one. I don't have one.
We will get you one. We will
Okay.
fake news. We'll pay for the ambulance. Don't worry. We have lots of money. You won't have to take an Uber there, but definitely seek some medical attention right now,
Okay.
Ezra.
I'm just gonna
Okay?
do what I usually do when I get sick, and that's take a lot of LSD.
Yeah. Okay, great. If that's what works for you. Yeah, just let us know that you're okay. Let us know that you're alive. All right?
I'm alive, baby. I've never been
Okay.
more
Well, I mean
alive.
in like 12 hours. Like just
I've
check
never
in
been
with
more
us.
alive.
That's
I've never been more alive.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. Senior faded
I hate you
correspondent
so much.
Ezra Parter. Thank you. I hope yeah, I really hope that he's okay. On to entertainment news. Tesla CEO and the one cyborg to rule them all, Elon Musk, will host this week's episode of Saturday Night Live. In a related story, fake news creator Adam Macias is going to say a bunch of crazy shit on Twitter and try to infect the show's staff with COVID because apparently that shit qualifies you to host SNL now. Yeah, this guy would do that. He would. He's ruthless. He wants nothing. He wants nothing but to make it to the top. TikTok user Naveen J went viral this week for a post alleging Ben Affleck sent her a video on Instagram after she unmatched him on the dating app Raya. Now, she said that just like the new version of the Justice League, the video featuring Affleck was uncut. That's another penis joke. Famed ba with da ba da bang diggy diggy man Kid Rock was in the news this week in a story that seems both surprising and inevitable. Last Saturday, a man outside the singer's bar in Tennessee used his colostomy bag as a weapon against a cop. When asked for a response, the cop said, "Hey, when you get called to Kid Rock's bar, you know you're in for a shitty night." Okay. Poop joke. Check. Great. Meanwhile, Kid Rock said about the incidents, "I don't know what the problem is. We charge $15 for that and call it nachos." Ellen DeGeneres has temporarily moved into Courtney Cox's home. This came as a surprise to many, being as Ellen is not known for enjoying Cox. NBC is capitalizing on childhood nostalgia by announcing a new competition show, Ultimate Slip and Slide, set to debut this summer. The show will be hosted by Bobby Moynihan and Ron Funches and sponsored by Scrapes and Chafed Nipples. Now, please stay tuned for sports and local news after this commercial break.
On May 4th, 2021, I was canceled for a joke I made. In that joke, I said you can measure a man by how thick his wallet is. I instantly regretted it. It's not what I think about gender, and I expected more of myself. And honestly, I borrowed that joke from the show Home Improvement, word for word. That's why I have started the movement called Boycott Home Improvement, because they made the joke, not me. I just repeated it, but still, I'm going to need a little bit more help from my friends, fans, and family, because taking down home improvement is not going to be easy or cheap. I've started a GoFundMe, the link will be on the screen, where you can donate, and I will spend 100% of the proceeds on buying home improvement DVDs, VHS, and memorabilia from eBay so that nobody else sees that filth, and we can stop supporting the monsters who created that show and ruined my life.
If I bought all the home improvement merch, then no one else can.
To close out the apology video, I would like to read the mission statement for Boycott Home Improvement. We will not apologize because it is not our fault. We will not stop until home improvement is a figment of our imagination, or until I am uncanceled, whichever comes first. I am not sorry. I am not guilty. I merely repeated a line of dialogue from season 2 of the hit 90s show Home Improvement. And if that makes me guilty, then you are all guilty. Because have we not all repeated lines from Home Improvement at one point or another? So please follow me at Boycott Home Improvement and get on board the movement, or else you might be the person who I kill. And then my lawyer said that I'm legally obligated to say that this is art.
Sorry. It's just I was just copying down that phone number so that I can call and support that campaign. Boycott Home Improvement. Now on to sports news. Jake Paul caused chaos when he stole Floyd Mayweather's hat at a promotional event for Mayweather's bout with brother Logan Paul this week. The professional boxer did not respond kindly to the taunt, which could be good because maybe he'll just be both their asses. I mean, who cares? Yeah, both those motherfuckers need to be punched in the face. The Chicago Bears are taking that again. The Chicago Bears are seriously considering relocating from their home stadium of Soldier Field. Perhaps they'll finally move to where they belong. The trash. Clearly we have a Green Bay Packers fan in the fake news writing room. On to local news. Portland officials have raised concerns over the mayor's questionable $5.7 billion budget proposal. But in the mayor's defense, it would be dope if Portland had 3 water parks. Come on, guys. You would actually go to Portland if there were 3 water parks there. It's an investment in themselves. Tallahassee residents were shocked when 4 churches were vandalized with red spray paint. Though no one has been arrested for the taggings, authorities say to be on the lookout for this man. Oh, you naughty, gifted, bad baby. An Arizona voting audit team is checking to see if 40,000 Biden ballots were smuggled from Asia by checking the paper's fibers to see if they're made out of bamboo. Because just when you think we can't sink any lower with racism, America says, yes, we can. A pre-K through 8th grade school in Miami is making headlines for allegedly telling teachers not to get the COVID-19 vaccine and warning kids not to hug their vaccinated parents. But the real story is, this isn't even the most batshit crazy school in Florida. That honor goes to Big Al's Alligator Wrestling and Cocaine Smuggling Academy, where they're encouraging vaccinated people to go ahead and fuck a gator. An armed U.S. military trainee attempted to hijack a South Carolina school bus, but was thwarted when the kids on the bus overwhelmed him with questions. Authorities say he disappeared after he stopped the bus at a corner store and told the kids he was going out for a pack of smokes. Very, very similar thing happened to me. An investigation into fatal buttocks enhancements in Texas revealed that a woman had been masquerading as a doctor and injecting construction-grade caulking gun silicone into her unsuspecting patients' rear ends. Ladies, you need to be more careful. You can't just go putting any old cock in your ass. And for the record, everyone knows that the best way to get a nice plump butt is put some mayonnaise in it. Ohio State Senator Andrew Brenner was caught driving while on a Zoom call to discuss a potential distracted driving bill. Brenner tried to hide it by setting his background as his home office, but his ruse was foiled because everyone could see his seatbelt and hear him yelling, "Fuck you, I'm driving over here," every time he changed lanes. For some reason, that made him turn into a New Yorker. NBC has reported that a giant sequoia in California is still smoldering from last year's wildfires. This marks the biggest and longest-running fire bush since Conan O'Brien. Hey, Conan, what's up? This weekend is Mother's Day, and it looks like we here at Fake News have received a few Mother's Day cards by mistake. So before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at these Mother's Day sentiments. Hope you have a fire Mother's Day. Oh, that's very sweet. Let's see. That's love Rosemary's Baby. Okay, that's nice. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. We love you. Stop running for governor and come home. Love, Kylie and Kendall. Mom, I hope your Mother's Day is just okay. Love, Sophie's second choice. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a rough one. I'd kill for you, Mom. Love, Oedipus Rex. That's a joke for all my theater people out there. Yeah, you get it. Dearest Mother, you're my best friend. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, truly Norman Bates. Oh, okay. A little disturbing. Bursting with love for you. Oh. From the alien baby from Alien. Mom, seriously, just tell me who my goddamn dad is. Love, Jesus Christ. And on a serious note, this Sunday is Mother's Day, and I just want to give a shout out to all the mothers out there, including my own, for being truly amazing women. People always tell me that I'm brave for doing comedy, but I only tell jokes about my vagina. These women push humans out of theirs and then love and nurture them for the rest of their lives. That's true bravery. That'll do it for Fake News this week. We'd like to thank the Pack Theater for hosting our live stream. Don't forget to donate to them at the link on your screen now, Venmo at #theater. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media at Fake News_comedy. That's Fake News_comedy. Help Fake News by sharing with a friend. Thanks so much for all of us here at Fake News. Keep it real.